6 o'clock. Let's
After the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call. Mr. Warner.
Yes.
Ms. Rupp.
Yes.
Mr. Meyerholtz. Ms. Susser.
Yes.
Mrs. Patel.
Yes.
Ms. Kukowski.
Here.
Have everybody look at the agenda? Anything need to be added?
Miscellaneous business. You add the Northwest Ohio Mayors and Managers Association networking event.
And be safe, why don't we add maintenance schedules to the committee?
Under miscellaneous business?
Sure.
What was that maintenance schedule?
Yeah.
Just those two things? Everybody had a chance to look at the minutes from the previous meeting? And if there's no additions or corrections, we just need a motion to approve.
So moved.
First, do we have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Okay.
All opposed? All right. Motion carried. We're gonna move on to Chuck, right? Chuck Latta?
Hey, guys, I'm Chuck Latta. I'm a member of the Northwest Water District Board. I've been on the board for 2 terms now. And I'm here to, the process is I need to be nominated for. You're probably asking, why are you here when you live in Macomb? Macomb does not really like the Northwest Water District, and this is the second time I've come to you guys to ask to be nominated. They won't. They think their bills are too high about it. Anyhow, I'm currently the secretary, and I head the financial and search committee, and was mayor of Macomb. So I'm just asking for your nomination. And again, it's a nomination, it's not the vote, it's just to get on the ballot. And then it goes from there. I will give you one update while I'm here. I don't know if everybody knows, but Gary is going to be retiring here in about a year. So we have a search committee, and we've hired an outside firm to help us with that search. And I'm telling you this because if you know anybody that would maybe could do the job, I'd ask that you send them our way, because it's going to be tough to fill his position. So do you have any questions for me? You have I think my resume or whatever you want to call it, nomination form.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll leave. But you have a question?
Yeah, about and it may or may not be related, about the closing of the watersheds. I know it was due to the cost benefit,
Right.
since you're in the finance portion. Because we really liked our watershed. We were bummed out.
I remember I was up here and talked about making sure you guys got that watershed. That one
Mhm.
council meeting.
What was the cause, or what was the reason for getting rid of them? Because I noticed we got rid of the one down in the
Obies.
corner. Yeah,
Yeah,
Obies.
it really is just, it really comes down to cost versus if they're making a profit or not. I think in both situations, the costs were higher than, our cost to run it. And I think and again, that doesn't come to the board for a decision to close those. That's at Jerry's level. We don't have to prove that, but that's why they have.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
No, I know how much you wanted. I remember I was at that meeting. So.
Mhm.
It's kind of funny because Grand Rapids is probably the one they have over by the laundromat. And I'm just trying to figure out if Northwest Water, couldn't afford it. How come a small little laundromat keep theirs going? I asked Teresa Pollock of that, and she's just, it's not her decision, so.
Yeah, even quite honestly, that's the only thing I know. What we get at the board is, here's how much they're making and here's how much they're not making. And We don't, that's not a board. So,
Okay.
not that that answers your question.
But it does kind of, because they're thinking, I mean, we have the same type of,
Yeah.
this goes to these people.
Yeah, and each one of those watersheds is different. I know there's a couple that we lease the land and it's just whatever, so.
Okay.
You know how many gallons it takes to make it profitable?
I do not. It takes a lot of quarters, so. I really don't. So,
All right,
I should have prepared a little bit.
you're fine.
You're okay.
All right, well, hey, thank you. I guess I can leave.
All right.
Not that I don't want to stay for your whole meeting.
Oh, it might be entertaining, you never.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right,
Have a good one. Thank you.
too.
all right. We're gonna,
Do we want to,
You wanna,
nominate?
well, that was, okay, we can do that, but is, we locked down for one nomination? Because we have another one coming in next meeting.
No, I think we have till, what is it, August? It's in that folder. What's the deadline? August 2nd,
it's early August.
August 7th? This would be our only meeting before their deadline.
Yeah.
The
August
22nd, the 22nd.
Of August? Okay, so then we do have
Because the
time.
first, I have a gentleman, Ryan Lee, is coming the first week of,
From Pennant?
yes,
I know, Ryan.
yeah. And I didn't know if we were locked in for a nomination.
No, I think you,
I mean,
there's not a certain number you can.
I just wanted, I just know of that individual coming and.
We can nominate.
I think we can we can do multiple.
From Elmwood.
Yeah.
He was my health teacher.
He's assistant fire chief at Central Joint and of course the principal and everything else at Pena, so. I just want to keep that option open. Yeah, we can, if you guys are okay with.
Yeah.
Tabling until after that one, get it on the agenda first.
Is that one, that person's coming at the next meeting?
Yes.
So I should do the same thing, put them on the agenda?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Okay. We're gonna go to old business, final reading of resolution 2025-8. That would be the Wood County Park District's grant. This is a resolution authorizing the Village of West to participate in the Wood County Park District's grant program. Any discussion needs to happen with that? If not, we just need a motion to accept it, and
Don't move.
we have a first and a second. We're going to roll call. Mr. Warner,
Yes.
Ms. Rupp,
Yes.
Mr. Meyerholtz,
Yes.
Ms. Souza,
Yes.
sorry. Mrs. Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Kolkowski.
Yes.
All right.
All you rule breakers, get your phones. No.
We don't have the phone. Okay, second reading of ordinance for the streetlight assessment. I gotta go back to my thing here. I gotta find it. That one. Which one is it? Good. See that? That's the emergency reading, isn't it?
Go back.
I didn't see it.
Back.
I don't see.
Got it.
Maybe I didn't move it over
Okay.
there.
All
I'm
right.
still sitting in the last meeting's folder.
All right. An ordinance to provide the cost and expense of the lighting of the streets, alleyways, and other public spaces in the Village of Weston, Ohio, and confirming inclusive therein of new and or approved lighting projects. Any other discussions on that? Okay, mark that as a second reading. Reports. Mayor, that would be me. I was asked to go to the newly renovated pickleball and basketball court, do a ribbon cutting yesterday. It was quite refreshing. That's all I gotta say is because it rained. I had fun and Stephanie's son gave me a little bit of run for my money for the pickleball, but I think he dominated me. Object is don't play pickleball in flip flops. So, no, it was really good. I mean, we would like to see more people there, but evidently there's been a lot of people using it. So, I think it's a good investment. I think it was a good thing to have. And quite frankly, I was, excited to be a part of it. So. All I have for myself.
Brittany already bills signed.
I didn't want to walk in front of the camera without like a break.
Everybody blink. Walk through the camera. Okay,
It just got your head, so you're good.
you're good.
That is crazy.
All right. Fiscal officer.
Let's see here. One of the things or one of the agenda topics. We've had a nuisance property we declared in the past, and we received an order that authorizes us to go on the property and clean it up back in March. Harold worked on that 2 weeks ago to get it cleaned up. The only thing left is the shed that is in disrepair. So he was working on collecting quotes, but before he goes any further, I guess it's getting council's approval if we even want to demolish it or consider the nuisance resolved, I guess, without.
Which
the
property
shed.
is it?
13250 Maple Street, the Warren property.
That, is that the shed that has the tree leaning on it?
No, it's the
That's the one next to it?
half of the roof gone.
So there probably was a tree on it.
It's not covering the holes.
The one quote so far that came in was for 2,088, which, I mean, you can buy a shed for that much, a new shed.
I'll go.
So,
Thanks. Knock it over.
Was this the property that someone had complained about
That's the one
on
with
social
the-
media?
Yep,
This is the one that the white picket fence or the white fence was falling down, right?
No. Yeah, it was a little piece last year or something.
And then I know, I just look out my front window, I see it. It was the one that originally had the ducks. Yes. So. Well,
Is there anyone living in it now?
Oh, just
no,
for storage.
that problem went down towards you.
That's who that is.
We get to public work.
Yeah, we surely can. I mean, yeah, I think, the question is we've gone as far as we can go, or we assume the cost of the taking down the structure
Would the cost be added to taxes?
assessment.
Mhm.
It would have to be.
haven't added everything up yet. The stuff he took to the landfill was what, $42? Then we're gonna add in, he spent about 3.5 hours on it, so the labor.
With my time going to the dump too. so
Okay. Yeah,
Put that under the nuisance, but.
Okay.
Get rid of that stuff, so.
and then the weeds, that's 150, grass and weeds. So.
And this process has been started, so it's going to be a continuous mowing.
The mowing will
Issue.
continue to get letters. The mowing isn't part of this
Okay.
order. That's separate. This is just cleaning up the property. Minus the mowing.
Well, if you guys want to take it to Public Works,
Did we get more than one bid to take the shed down?
I'm working on another one right now. I contacted, who was that? place?
They're, Rudolph Trash Management.
Oh.
They do demolition.
Yeah, I contacted him today. I haven't heard back yet, but I'm gonna give him a call again tomorrow. So,
what's our legal on that one? Can we physically take the building down?
Order says pay the nuisance.
Okay.
And you bill them. If they don't pay it, you assess the property.
Okay.
Yeah, we probably won't be able to assess the property this year just because they are given 30 days to pay it, and by the time we have to certify in September, it won't make it on in time, so.
What line item does it come out of until then? Cause it's not gonna be,
The demolition, it'd probably have to be reappropriated.
For contract services.
Yeah,
Contractual services.
yeah, contractual services. So we'd have to look if there's anything in there. And if not, we'd have to amend appropriations. The other stuff, like taking the stuff to the dump, there's already a line item for that that's got enough in it, so. And then, of course, the salary's already,
So we want to move it to Parks and, Public Works.
or where,
Make a motion to the public work.
We got a motion on the floor. We have first,
second.
second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Next one.
that is all I had. The other thing was just the cemetery storm damage update. The insurance should be paying out the damaged foundations and installing new ones, and the removal of the big pine tree that came down, the maple tree that took down the monument. They didn't include in there, but I pointed it out to them, but they haven't responded on that part yet. So I'm assuming it's covered. They just might have missed those two quotes. Especially since they are covering the foundations. That one was
Big one.
a good one. So there is on the agenda, an emergency to amend appropriations to certify that insurance amount that we should be expecting, and then appropriations to take into consideration the amount we get back so that they can get started on that work when the check comes in, which should be like, they said 7 to 10 days, so.
Now, the question I had with that is, obviously it's minus the $500 deductible.
Mhm.
Are we bound to do the pine tree, removal of everything? Because Harold did remove some of it and moved it onto the side. I mean, you still have to have the outside contractor come out and do that, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that one specifically and the foundations are what we're getting money for already. But we still have the deductible coming out, so if, let's say, Rose comes back a little bit cheaper because they've already removed some stuff, then the deductible was, it didn't affect us too much because that deductible.
Sounds good. Thank you. Administrator? Herb?
Well, they went, they, do leaf deck showed up, so we have that down there. Cleaned up that property. She said, Dexter Electric has they're not Dexter, A Electric put the meter box in for the electrical down by the bus ride, so I'm in the process of waiting for Dexter Electric to get ready to start, and they told me, or he ran into Gary down there today apparently, and told Gary that we have to contact the Little Edison to get the power going from the building over to there, so they had to Edison has to put the power over to the pole first before they can do anything, so I will be calling Lulo's tomorrow to get that scheduled, to have them come out and put that on.
Then can you coordinate that with Dexter Electric so they're there? So it's going to be
He said as soon as they run the power over, they'll be out here to do it. So, but yes, once I find out when they're gonna come out, I will let Dexter Electric know. So that way they will be able to get out here. And get their part done as soon as they can.
anything else?
How was that catch basin over on Washington and Brown Lane?
The catch basin, not on Brown, but the one, they cleaned out the catch basin on Brown, and then they cleaned out the one on Brook Lane. Both of those are okay. The one that is on Brook Lane and Washington tees into the main line. So it does run at an angle, it doesn't run true underneath the road, it just runs a straight line out to the ditch. So, we had that jetted from Brown Lane to the ditch because that's all we had
money for because, you know, they said they couldn't do the whole thing, but they can do from there to the ditch. So I had that jetted, it's all cleared. The only thing I gotta do is, they said it wouldn't be a bad idea is to take the 350-gallon tank and dump 350 gallons into the drain at the other end and just let it clean it out.
Sure.
So,
You, happen to get a hold of Northwest Water, see if they come out and suck that one catch basin out?
no, they already did that one.
Okay.
They did both of them. They did the two that was right there, so those are cleaned out, so. But we did the one on Brown, or not Brown, but Brook Lane to make sure that there was no lines coming into it. And there was no other lines going into it. It's just the one that's going out to where the tee is in the grass, so. That's how that one's set up back there, but I'll this week get it flushed out with some water and make sure that everything's running smoothly down there.
Thank you. Ken?
Okay, the 9th attended the Weston Economic Development meeting regarding the existing subdivision regulation of number 29 or 2598 and the possible updates. A nice little meeting, I thought. See what happens out of it, but on July 16th, attended the Planning Commission / Zoning Board meeting regarding the rezoning application of 0 Silver Street. After much discussion, Mr. Rinaldi asked that the request be tabled as he had another meeting that he needed to attend and he might want to reconsider his plan for the property. He left and the Planning Commission / Zoning Board voted to not approve his request for rezoning after he had left the building. July 17th, the next day, he called me stating that he was planning on submitting a different request for the property. He knows he's got to start from scratch with his request and everything. And basically, what he led me to believe this time is that he would be creating 7 lots on the 900 and whatever foot, selling them outright for mobile homes. Problem is, we still don't, I mean, we can follow either the zoning code for mobile home park, or we have to create another zone district for R1 or R2/M for mobile homes or manufactured homes for whatever. His property, if he split it up into 70-foot lots, he's got plenty of room. Like I said, he's got over 900 foot. What he doesn't have room is if he puts in a mobile home and puts them perpendicular to the road, he still will have the same problems that he had. The rear yards and our current zoning code for the mobile home park says that if you have 1 or 2 mobile homes on a parcel, you need a 40-foot setback. So now we're going, eliminating 40 foot. Now he's got a 50 foot, but we're also taking 20 foot off on the backside for the ditch. So there'd be enough room if he put a mobile home parallel to the road. I believe he can probably do it, but he hasn't submitted any paperwork, any plan at this time. So wait and see on that one.
Quick question for you on that. Bob Desmond had brought up the fact that that is considered floodplain. What
And
does that say about
floodplain basically affects your insurance,
not as far as us?
not as far as us. It's sold, it's privately owned property, and it affects your insurance.
But that one, that particular property is not currently a mobile home.
It's
Classification.
Right.
It's currently divided into 3 or 4 different parcels.
It is currently, according to the county auditor,
Okay.
it's 1 parcel.
Okay. And would he or us have to, once a plan gets submitted, involve the state because that we don't have mobile homes?
Because of the mobile home.
Yeah.
Again, if we're gonna call it a mobile home park, But if he doesn't call it a mobile home park, but it's just.
We don't allow,
Mobile homes.
we don't allow mobile homes.
I know we don't.
So,
So I said, if we created an R2M, which was only, not in any R2 can you put a mobile home, but in an R2M, you can put a mobile home. That would be a way to look at it. I'm not advocating for anything. I'm just saying that would be the cleanest way to make it work, if it's going to work.
Good.
He would be able to, though, even with your setback, I'm just estimating at this point, he could set those in at an angle and get his setback probably, is that correct?
If, I don't have the copy of the actual, the paperwork that he submitted for the length and width of the mobile homes that he was talking about. But if they're 50, 60 feet long, he's already lost 40 feet off the front. He's only got a total of 50 more feet. He'd have to almost kick them parallel to the road in order to fit them on there.
Okay.
But he also said that these would each have their own separate garage and the whole 9 yards, so. Doesn't hurt to think about it. And then on the 21st today, I drove around the village, found a property with debris in the boulevard. They'll get a letter. Another property had a big press board cabinet in the boulevard, and 2 properties with weeds. 1 property with a new fence, they'll be getting a letter. There's a car on jacks. And there's 1 property with just tall grass. It's probably, by the time we get a letter out to them, it'll be over 7 inches. So. That's all I got.
anything for Ken? All right. We'll move on to committee reports. Development
Okay, in
first.
attendance was Ashley Patel, Brittany Kukowski, Ken Taylor, Rob Meyerholtz, Craig Warner, and Lori Champion. Previous minutes were approved. We spent most of our time reviewing the subdivision code with Ken, discussed several recommendations. General edits will be sent to Planning Commission for review, then to council for ultimate approval. It has been recommended that the zoning code also be reviewed and edited to coincide with the subdivision code, with a final approval of both codes simultaneously. Dora cups were handed out by me. Zeb Elbert, the stewardship coordinator, has indicated project cuts in his department. Next meeting, we will explore more options for the Pocket Prairie project. Defining a downtown business district would be for planning and funding, not rezoning properties. We plan to further discuss that next meeting too, as well, like I say, most of our time was taken up by the subdivision code. It also was brought to our attention though by Ken that we may want to reconsider or readdress our village firework laws, such as there must be 150 feet separation distance from the point of discharge to spectators and the nearest point of any structure or building. No person under the age of 18 is permitted to handle or discharge, and fireworks not to be discharged on public property. Those were a few of the things that were brought up. I know that we've had some other feedback and questions, I guess, relating to the subject. I know that Stephanie, you did speak to the police officer. That kind of basically said that we can ultimately set our boundaries, but people are going to do what they do anyway. Is that how I understood that?
Yeah. Yeah, if they choose not to follow the code,
Nothing can be done.
nothing, it'll just fall on them if they cause damages.
To our new asphalt, that was just down at the pickleball courts.
They did say, I told them about that. They did say they'll try and patrol more in the park areas, around the holidays, that you're allowed to do that. And make sure people aren't setting off in the park. And they recommended that we put signs up during those holidays that remind people that they're not allowed to set fireworks off on public property. What else was there? I think that was about it.
Okay.
Part of that committee report and what has been discussed, I would like to make a motion that we abandon the Prairie project along that park.
I second.
We have a motion on the floor to abandon the Pocket Prairie Alumni Park. We have a first and a second. We're gonna go roll call. Mr. Warner?
No.
Ms. Rupp?
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Marlowe? Mrs. Suther?
No.
Mrs. Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Klukowski?
No.
That is a 3-3 vote. And I'm going to vote no on it. We're going to vote to get rid of it. Get rid of it because it hasn't been started yet. It's almost hard for us to maintain the property as it is. So. We're gonna go to
Administrative process, Parks and Recs.
Parks and Recs. There's nothing folder in here, so
Doug is on.
I know. Doug, you got anything for Park and Rec? Nothing at this time. We're gonna move to administrative process.
In attendance, Jessica Susser, Craig Warner, Rob Meyerholtz, Stephanie Montz, Brittany Kowalski. Previous minutes were approved. Dash cams are eligible for return through July 17th, which is past. It was noted that they can likely be hardwired if there are difficulties installing them using the included power cable. Quotes for Ash Street extension are still pending. However, the plan is to pause the process for now, as there is an intention to recommend vacating the street. A response from Paul is needed to clarify the procedure for vacating. The SIB application is currently in progress. Christy and Stephanie are working on a draft to submit for ODOT's review. The OPWC project will move forward once the loan is approved. It was also requested to explore quotes from other engineering firms. An email from Benjamin Black outlining funding opportunities was also received and has been forwarded to Public Works for review. However, it was noted that at this time, there isn't enough funding available to meet the updated match requirements for the TAP grant. Christie will be asked to provide a list of potential grants that could be used as a matching fund for the TAP grant. Christie's scope of services was reviewed, and with the current contract nearing expiration, the committee will check if she is interested in extending it through the end of the year based on reviewed scope. There are certain services the committee finds valuable. The committee also discussed stormwater utility, noting that Northwestern Water Sewer District will need direction from the village on how the utility should be structured. Options range from simple flat rates to more detailed approaches. It was also pointed out that not all properties are metered. The committee will review examples from other communities and continue the discussion. Certified revenue has been received. Budget requests must be submitted prior to October administrative process meeting. That's for all committees and boards. They need to have their budget requests with quotes and wish lists in before that October meeting, so preferably by September 30th. And without quotes, the items will not be considered for inclusion. Legal counsel advised that the proposed cell phone ordinance is not appropriate. A draft memo was accepted and will be sent to all boards, committees, and departments, which will also include the budget deadline and any other important reminders from the fiscal officer. Handbook comments from the introduction through section 2 were reviewed. Feedback from Paul is still pending on some items. Once he responds, Stephanie will enter the updates for council approval. PEP faithful performance coverage was discussed, and it was agreed that the coverage details should be revisited for further review. Still waiting on quotes for village hall and post office inspections. Bless you. Stephanie received a cleaning quote from MMM Cleaning Services, $200 for an initial deep clean, $150 for monthly cleaning, and $115 per visit bi-weekly service. A quote is also pending from the company currently used by the library. Additionally, it was suggested to obtain quotes for carpet cleaning. It was also recommended to replace the blinds in the village hall. The current number of village staff members was revisited in discussion. As planned, the committee is reviewing operations compared to needs and will be making recommendations toward helping with the amount and types of work being requested of our staff. The committee would like council's permission to move forward in researching and pursuing future job aids for the village employees. Stephanie mentioned Harold inquired about a request to the repair and the concession stand refrigerator and sought clarification on who would be responsible for the cost. The committee confirmed that the expense would be covered by the ball fund. And Ms. Susar, mentioned that WSIA is currently exploring replacement options for the refrigerator. Additionally, it was noted that a tire was supposed to be replaced on the drag tractor, and WSIA questioned why the tire had not yet been replaced on its repair. Actionable items: approve handbook updates, introduction, and section 2 pending Paul's response. Approve vacating Ash Street extension pending legal process guideline. Approve new village hall window blinds not to exceed $800. Approval for committee to research job aid. Approve asking offering that the grant writer extend previously contracted hours through to December until new budgets and contracts are discussed.
But we have 5 actionable items that we need to discuss. Let's,
The first two we are still waiting on Paul to respond.
well, he just happens to be.
That's why I'm here.
Okay.
I would like someone to help explain to me the ash. It didn't make heads or tails of that map, so,
There's the ditch right here.
okay, that's a ditch.
Yeah, this is a ditch.
Okay.
Ash Street used to cross the ditch. There used to be a bridge there.
Okay.
And there's still like, you can kind of see it in aerial shots where like you can follow it back and there's housing. There's 4 houses, 2 on each side.
Housing to the north of.
Eva,
Street.
is it Yvonne or Eva?
Yvonne Lane.
Yvonne Lane. I've been saying it wrong since I was 12. On Yvonne Lane, there's 4 houses and their driveways come off Ash Street, the old Ash Street.
Okay.
And so because it's still technically village property, Harold has to plow that part of their driveway. So it's like a gravel drive.
So
The
this
ordinance that I
Ash Street
found-
Extends
Yes,
this way.
yeah,
There are houses.
on either side of Yvonne.
We currently do not plow the southern portion of it because it dead ends in the yard. There's no thing, but the northern portion, which would be south of Sean Lane, there's 2 houses.
North of Russ.
Yes, we don't do that. That doesn't get plowed.
Okay.
Okay, but the other one on the other side of the ditch services, that Ash Street services 2 houses, one to the left, one to the right, and it only technically goes about, I don't know, 85 feet of stone.
Yeah, just past the actual driveways is all kind of that would fall anyways.
Mhm.
We just push it.
And that to us falls under our 3rd tier roads. So it's not a high priority for our crews. So when it comes to snow removal.
Line on there, I made
It's
that one.
already been vacated.
Yes, I found an ordinance that that was vacated, so that's what we're basing this concept off of.
You plow the one, like when you plow, do you just put it right towards where all the trees are? That's in the back there?
Just pushes and that's it.
Past the driveways after, where we just push it past there after the driveways and stop right there, because I don't want to be tearing up the yards and
Right.
all that, so we'll just go only as far as we need to go with the snow plows.
So is the suggestion that the Ash Street extension from Russ to Yvonne, you said,
Yvonne.
would be vacated? Vacating it all the way up through Pat north of,
Well, it currently does not go any farther to the north as far as access. It's being consumed by yard and one person on both sides of that property.
It's actually already been kind of,
I mean,
it's been accepted by the property.
right, but it's not been officially
Correct.
vacated.
again,
I say
the
great.
plan is not to do anything with it.
I'm trying to get there. I just clicked the wrong button. There
Are
we
there
go.
any people who live between Russ and Yvonne?
There's two individuals, one just,
I think one wants to talk. I think you should go.
one is currently on right now and then the other one, I don't know. And then south of the ditch is, there's nobody. I mean, there's Randy Tolles owns the one. And I don't know who owns the other side.
On the other side, so,
It's just, yeah, that's just an empty lot. Right?
yeah.
I think he owns them both.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
So, I mean, if the route we go, I think if we're gonna vacate, we vacate it all, but
Is there a record of this Ash Street extension anywhere on any of the old maps or anything? Is it actually a road? Or does Ash Street end at Russ?
When
it
I,
actually is a
Oh,
road.
it's actually,
yeah, when I found it in,
There used to be a bridge there. I can't remember how long ago, and there is utilities. I do believe there's a couple storm drain catch basins on the north side of the ditch. And there is an access clean out on the south side of the ditch currently on that area where the stormwater would run off to, so.
when I went in the recorder's office and they pulled the parcel map, you can see the road mapped out between the parcels.
It's been a long time that the bridge has been there. I mean,
Right, and
a long time.
Probably
the
not.
only difference is, he might be coming up here. Too. The only difference is that if we do vacate, there will be, I don't know, easement rights for any particular work that may be done to any of those catch basins, crocks, whatever. And that would be no different than we currently already have on any other alleyway or whatever else. So take that in mind. I mean, we did vacate a couple alleys, so to speak, that was basically vacated because the house was added on over years ago and there was really no way not getting nothing down there. So we vacated that. This one's a little
I
different.
remember that one.
Yeah, the one on Center Street. I mean, this is the only exception to the rule because it is a pretty big wide area and so.
So the idea would be to vacate it subject to a maintenance easement
Yes,
of some
I
kind.
would think there would have to be a maintenance.
there'd have to be a meeting.
Well, if that's the case, you would need the consent of all property owners that abut that extension, Ash extension.
And then they would,
They would have
he
to
is not
issue.
coming this way.
When you vacate a street,
He's by the,
I'll just.
Past
I'll
the
just
market
use
going
this
northwest.
Russ Street as. an
I wonder if he's
example.
on his way to my house.
If you vacate Russ Street, then all homeowners to the south and to the north, their properties are extended one half of Russ Street.
correct.
The same thing would happen here. There are already homeowners there. That vacated street would become the property of those homeowners.
And they would be responsible for the tax portion of it.
Yes.
And we would be ultimately, or some type of district would be ultimately responsible for an easement for that access.
So it would require the homeowners, all the property owners abutting this now to be vacated section to grant
a written easement that's recorded showing who has access.
Okay.
Once you vacate it, the village doesn't have access
And
unless
then
it's granted by the property.
And that's only for the easement, not
if one,
vacating it. If they didn't grant the easement, then you're saying we wouldn't be able to vacate.
No, you could still, but
That's what I was
if you're
saying.
trying to preserve
I
the
understand.
easement, you would make that a condition of it.
and its only condition is all or approve. All four property, each side of the property easement, they would all have to be approved.
For the easement, yes,
So,
all four would have to grant the easement.
okay,
Typically, what happens is the property owners petition the village to vacate that alley.
Okay.
There happened last time.
I don't believe on the other side of Yvonne that there is any catch basins involved.
I don't think there is no infrastructure on the other side
Yeah,
of
there's
the
none that I
Bond
know
Lane.
of. Yeah.
But my point is, if we're gonna take the time to do that, we would probably should do it all. I mean,
But we're not gonna need an easement granted for that section, is what I'm stating.
correct,
So it'd only be
just the property owner permission on that particular section.
that section.
Because north of Ebon Lane, there is no utilities there, so there would be no easement rights. Because, I mean, if they were to eventually extend out and make that only farmland property a subdivision, which we haven't even got to yet. You know, if that was the case, I mean, we would need the rights to that, but there is no rights. We can move somewhere else if that it was ever come into play, so. Okay. We'll get back to you on that Ash Street extension via the proper wording on how we do that. And then updated the handbook for section 2. Anything on that one?
I had not gone through all those comments.
Okay, okay. We can move on.
And then the other issue was the downtown business district.
Mhm.
It sounds like you don't want to rezone, you just want to designate this as still zoned, but it's on commercial, I assume, right? So the commercial zoning would still apply, specific designation for that description of it. For that, all I'll need is some kind of map showing where this is going to be designated. I can prepare the ordinance. And then what my suggestion would be, add it to the zoning code, the zoning map.
Okay.
Designating it as a specific district.
Okay.
Even though the zoning restrictions don't change from the commercial.
We can move forward on that then. All right. The other actual item is approve new village hall window blinds. We have something in place. We have enough going on, anything?
It's not good.
Not to exceed 800.
I mean, we don't have you guys still going to go back to committee then?
We are approving to get quotes
Okay.
or look into pricing. But we have a line item for furniture.
Mhm.
That has five.
I think we realized it was like quite a bit.
And
Yep.
So we approved, and that's these blinds and all the blinds in the back of the building.
Okay.
So not to exceed, it's a blanket PO, not to
Okay.
exceed 800.
How many windows are back there?
All of them.
One big one
and one little one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
I don't go back there.
I don't either, so that's why I'm asking, I guess.
5 windows altogether?
5?
So we would need a motion
I motion.
that we get quotes. Is that how you want to do
I
it? Or just,
motion to approve a blanket PO.
not to exceed 800.
800.
we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Warner?
Yes.
Ms. Rupp?
Yes.
Mr. Miles?
Yes.
Assistant?
Yes.
Mrs. Patel?
No.
Ms. Kukowski?
Yes.
And Ms. Kukowski, could I ask you to move that one blind out?
As soon as we get the approval, we don't have to worry about, we just have to move them up.
Thank you.
All right, and
Brittany,
then,
did you say yes? Okay.
Ashley said.
Ashley was in it.
we need approval for a committee to research job aid. Is that going back to
Mhm.
public, community,
Administrative
administrative process?
Yep.
I'm gonna get it eventually.
One of those committees.
Yeah, one of those committees. All right, let's move it. We just need an approval to move it.
Job aid as far as what?
Job aids to help our situation with the amount of workload we have.
So is it strictly for like maintenance work? Or or
It's not strictly anything. We're looking at the whole situation, everything we need as a village and how to better equip ourselves and get the work done efficiently.
didn't we approve to hire
We did hire. We did. We hired how many?
cemetery only?
Not for the cemetery only. They were hired through that, but they were given permission to be used for the whole village.
Are they being
Are
used?
they? I've not seen a different person yet.
No,
He has not been doing anything other than working on it.
Was he?
had,
Taylor's son,
Okay,
so we had Joe, we had Tom, we had Russ,
I know.
but we did,
Now,
but we did.
yeah, we did, and he is not gonna help anymore this year because of his situation with his leg, so he
Right.
has to get that healed up before he goes.
So we had Tom, Russ, Joe, Gary. Anyone else?
Tom doesn't do town or village things though, does he? Or
But he had
not?
approval, we approved for it. So we had 5 village maintenance workers for the summer.
part-time.
Well, or part-time.
Yeah.
So we're looking at that, just like we had discussed the pool, we said we would come back to it at the end of the summer, see what our actual needs are. We're gonna assess the whole situation.
Just curious.
And that may mean a restructuring. That's why I say it's not strictly anything. We're looking at all of our options.
All right,
And get a part-time basis, you're cutting down half of your app to even apply people, you know what I mean? It's not a livable wage. Just throwing that out there, but okay.
all right, so we have a motion on the floor to, move it back to committee for more discussion,
Right, to allow
the
to
process.
pursue it. Yeah.
We have a second.
Who was the first?
I'll first.
We have to report it. We're wrong. We have a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Congratulations. I guess. And then the approval for asking offering that the grant writer extend the previous contract hours through December until the new budget and contracts. Does that go back to us or just vote as a council?
Vote as a council, we are recommending that. That's what we're recommending, so. Vote as a council to ask her. She has to approve it and say yes.
This is Christie.
Ask her if she,
If she will
If a
extend
certain-
her hour.
oh,
Yeah.
She already has started that process, am I correct?
No, I mean, she's working on stuff, but this was more asking her to extend, because the contract will probably be up here next month, I think is what we figured. So to extend those hours that we really haven't used to December instead.
So we're just gonna extend the hours. We're not adding more hours to it. We're just,
We're not signing a new contract, we're just adding to.
all right, so we're going to need a roll call to talk to Christie about extending her. Yeah.
Just to clarify though, you're changing kind of her job parameters, were you not, in some of the stuff that you were asking her to do?
We asked her for a new scope of duties, different things she could do. Yeah,
I just want to clarify that we have those.
she's.
We looked at it a little bit.
That in the committee.
Yeah, I think we wanted to make sure she would even extend her contract before we start assigning her.
That's fine, I just want to
Okay.
make sure.
This is all gonna be up to her if she wants to continue on doing it. So we just need a motion to ask Christie to extend through December of this year.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Okay. All right, we're gonna go to planning commission. Yeah. All right. Planning commission hearing from 7:16. In attendance for the board members Shirley Moore, Sue Clanton, Bob Desmond, Erica Rupp, myself, Ken Taylor. In the audience with Scott Domer, Greg Stevens, Ashley Patel, Craig Warner, Lacey Warner, Tom Spoor, Jigger Patel, Brittany Kukowski, and the requester Arthur Mendaldi. Like so. Okay.
I was there too.
And Rob was there.
Oh, I put you down there.
Wasn't
I'll
it?
put you down there. I'll correct it. Mr. Minaldi stated that there was approval in the past for the property back in 2014, which Ken Taylor read for him. It stated about setbacks for the con units and advised we would look into the original one. Ken did provide a letter for that. But there was some discrepancies on whom proved it. He stated that he was or is a dealer for Skyline Dealer. These are park model, which he provided us with a building drawing, which was provided by him, which is basically the actual drawing of a particular layout of a unit. There was conversation about possible train access from Amtrak and or freight company. We stated that the land has 20-foot easements for Wood County ditch cleaning. And there was a letter also from Northwest Water and Sewer Department office. It was about 7:00 when Mr. Minaldi stated that he had to postpone this meeting for info gathering. And he also had another meeting at 8:00. I stated that we all gathered for this meeting and that we would continue, that we and the audience was continuing the meeting. So we continued discussions amongst the committee and we took a vote, and the vote was unanimously no on the rezoning request.
I don't believe he mentioned Amtrak. I think he said that he was going to buy the train himself. Amtrak was never mentioned.
Yeah.
I think it actually was written somewhere.
Originally, it was.
But I'm saying he never mentioned.
Yeah, that might.
Buying the train himself, getting on the schedule.
All it took was to get on the schedule.
Right.
How many hundreds of thousands of dollars?
Well, it's a
for
locomotive.
Hard to buy trains. That's what.
That
CSX is
Right.
very,
Got to get in the schedule.
he must have had a direct line, because when I asked CSX to slow the traffic down for the 3 events we had there, I got transferred 3 different places and someone said, we'll get back with you.
Guess what? There wasn't one all day.
Yeah, well, they're still currently working on the tracks, but yeah, so I can understand the rules of government there, so I guess we'll just continue on moving forward with any type of request that you would come up. That's just the way we have to do it, so. All right. Now, upcoming meetings, Public Works 7/22 at 6 p.m. and Safety 7/28 at 6 p.m. New business, we have a emergency reading.
let's back out. You want me to, I can start talking while you find the thing. So, the resolution is to, apply for that SIB loan. Christy and I have been working on that application. Based on our last 2 engineered projects, which came in over bid, or the bids came in over the engineer's estimate. And the current estimate is based on the quote is from 2024. We put increases into, construction to make the project either 500,000 or 525,000. The OPWC portion remains the same at 242.86. That's what we're going to be awarded. The general fund would need to cover 5,000 or 52,750 for the design, permits, advertising, and legal, which that's usually all lumped together. The only
Does SIB allow you to borrow for the
engineering,
engineering?
no.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
The only difference between the two amounts is either 205, 164 or 230, 164 for construction. We got the emergency resolution on here so that we can proceed. You just have to vote on a not to exceed amount. And then, whichever of those two figures you're comfortable with. There is a draft of one of the applications in there. That is the higher amount, the 525. I did notice a few errors on there that will correct, but it's more in section 5, but the table itself looks like everything's accurately laid out. And then I sent an email, I think after the last administrative process meeting, to that committee noting that we'll need to reprioritize engineering funding for this project now that it's been awarded, pending the SIB loan. Obviously, we don't have that kind of match out of pocket. So SIB loan, getting that is important. But yeah, we just have to figure out how much of an increase we want to put in there, if at all.
I would highly suggest we go with the higher amount, only due to the fact that it's going to be a bad time of the year to be requesting bids to begin with. The timing's not good. So I would definitely go for the higher amount. I'm actually not so sure you might want to go even a little higher. I hate to say
I
that,
was thinking max 250.
Yeah.
We already experienced that once.
If we don't use it, we can send.
Yep, we just don't use that part and then we use that as our part of our payment back.
And I'm not so sure even about the engineering costs going up, even from that standpoint.
Possibly. I do have I did reach out to another engineering firm. They are supposed to have something back for our next administrative process meeting to go
Who is
over.
that?
OHM Advisors.
Oh, okay.
Yep. The other thing I missed putting in there was when and if this is approved, when we go, and I think in the application, I have it split out to be paid back from 3 different funds: general, streets, and permissive. That's how we've done it in the past when we purchased the truck and did that. We split it between a couple different funds for payback. That way it's not hitting one so hard. The percentage of each, I have it figured out, but I didn't write it down on this report. I have
Has
that.
the final payment been made on the truck?
Oh yeah, that was done like 2 years ago or 2 or 3 years ago now. But yeah, the percentages, we can go over that in more detail.
General, permissive, and
Streets. Once we find out if we get this loan or not, we will have to have legislation to appropriate all that and accept and.
Do we know in general how long it takes to get approval for SIB?
No.
That's scary.
I don't think it's drawn out.
It shouldn't be
Yeah,
drawn out,
a
but,
couple weeks maybe.
I just know when we talked about this back when I was on council, we couldn't do the SIB loan until we actually had a OPWC. So it's like one of those
Yeah.
chicken before the egg, so hopefully it's not too long and hopefully no cuts has been made to the state's program.
We'll have to make a new fund for this. I've talked to the auditor on how to set all that stuff. That's where I bring in the percents. Well, when we do that, that's where we plug all that stuff into that
In
legislation.
fact, that's a good point, because passing the new budget that they passed, I guess I haven't paid attention to.
I don't know how much this one is
affected.
It's affected by that.
I think this is just a pool of,
Yeah, I don't pretend to know.
Yeah.
all right. So, this is gonna be, resolution 2025-9. It's a resolution of authorizing applications for Ohio Department of Transportation State Infrastructure Bank Loan and declaring an emergency. So.
First, we'll need to put an amount.
Yeah.
And then you
I
can
put
vote.
down max of 250 because that's what
Yeah, is that,
Jessica read. Is that okay on that?
I motion that.
The motion to keep the, okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so it's gonna be a $250,000 one. And then we need a motion to suspend the rules, right? No one else since it didn't, yeah, so we just need a motion. to
So moved.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Roll call, Mr. Warner,
Yes.
Ms. Rupp,
Yes.
Mr. Miles,
Yes.
Ms. Fisher,
Yes.
Mrs. Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Kukowski.
Yes.
All right, so now we just need a motion to accept resolution 2025-9.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Okay. Now we need emergency ordinance 2025-15, amend appropriation for the cemetery for storm damage, which we talked about a little bit. In her report, but the total amount is going to be $9,540. And this is making a supplemental appropriations for the fiscal year ending in 2012/31/25 and declaring an emergency. We just need a motion to.
And that is to accept the check.
Yep. So what this does is I certify that amount to the auditor to increase our revenue in cemetery and then to appropriate that amount into contractual services insurance proceeds.
Now they missed those two items that you had submitted.
I did include that in that total. So if we don't get those, what we'll have to do is I just go back to the auditor and tell them that we didn't get that full amount and we'll have to amend backwards.
Okay.
That makes sense.
It's easier to amend backwards than forward.
Yeah. But I'll be able to keep track of that to make sure that, well, obviously UAN's not gonna let me cut a check
Right.
unless that money's in there. So even if I wasn't keeping track, it'll tell me that you have a compliance error.
All right. So moving forward, we just need a motion to suspend the rules for ordinance 2025-15. First, do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Warner,
Yes.
Ms. Rupp,
Yes.
Mr. Meyerhold.
Yes.
Ms. Fisher,
Yes.
Mrs. Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Kukowski.
Yes.
Now we just need a motion to accept ordinance 2025-15.
Moved.
Second.
First and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Good. Did council have a chance to review the bills? And if we did, and if everybody signed it, I'm not picking on nobody, but if everybody signed it, we'll just.
We're looking the other way. We all know who you mean.
We just need a motion to pay the bills.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And then, and also in the folder evidently, there must be a June bank reconciliation. Everybody a chance to look at that? Any discussion on that? And if there's not, we just need a motion to accept it.
So moved.
Got a second?
Sure you want to?
Like looking around.
Zach.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, now we're gonna go to miscellaneous business. There's two of them. I started writing this thing down. It says North Ohio mayors and something that she said also maintenance schedule, so,
Northwest Ohio Mayors and Managers Association,
okay.
NAMA. Dave signed up for emails when he had this iPad to be subscribed to them, so I get a whole bunch of the emails for it. And they have this one where they have that Glass City Pearl boat that does the tours up and down the Maumee River. And they're inviting area mayors and managers of Northwest Ohio to attend a networking event for it. I know we don't have anything in the funds, but Craig said, go ahead and mention it to people. Because I did email Craig. I was like, I really want to bring this up. It's $75 a person. Looks really cool. But it's a networking and building get together a coalition of civic leaders for the exchange of ideas and betterment of the communities we serve. We will provide brunch on the Glass City Pearl, and Dean Davis, mural artist, will speak about the mural projects and what is planned for the future of public art along the river.
So are you asking permission to get reimbursed with the money we already said we don't have, right?
I haven't paid anything.
Okay,
Well, we said we would reappropriate for,
When's the event?
August 13th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
August 13th.
I know, I'm like, what?
I don't even know what day that is.
I'm not even gonna look, 'cause I'm not going. The only reason I say I'm not going is tractor pull weekend.
Ah.
I'll be,
That's a Wednesday.
I'll be
It's a Wednesday.
So we
Does
need,
anybody have any interest in going? If so, how do we proceed?
It sounds fun.
You have an interest in going.
I have a super big interest in
Anyone
going.
else have an interest in going?
Potentially, no guarantees, potentially. It
Yeah.
is midweek during the day.
so
You wanna
You
go?
got $150. I couldn't go.
Couldn't?
I'm not going. And the reason I could tractor pull weekend.
You've mentioned that.
Yeah.
And I have to get ready for tractor pull weekend at the cafe.
So,
Yeah.
so I think if that's the case, we just needed a motion to,
We would have to amend funds into the, like, amend appropriations into the fund
we
because
have time to amend appropriations
it's currently at $5.
in 15, when's the deadline?
Left in there.
Is this more of a meal event or more of a event? Because if it's an event, it would fall under training, which I think we still have
I thought we did.
some in
We're
there.
calling it a networking event.
With food.
There's brunch
Well, we're
provided.
not buying, well.
Well,
I guess
Pemacog, you
they're
don't buy the
buying
food.
Yeah, sometimes it's like Wood County Economic Development, they refer to that as a dinner.
What do you put the team with?
Pemacog comes out of training. Mhm.
Because they offer food too the same way.
Yeah, but they refer to theirs as
A seminar.
a seminar.
General Assembly.
Yeah,
But that was $20 for the summer assembly and we only had 25 left in that fund.
that was for the meal one, I think. Let me look it up.
So far, we might have a potential two people.
You
that
might,
want to-
I just know that there's always year-end training and that's, I think last year it was 100.
So we might have to reappropriate for that.
Maybe, I'm almost there, so.
And we did say we would do that as events came up.
See here. We have 665 available in training.
And we have nothing planned for later that's gonna encompass
Probably just
more than $150.
the 100 for year-end training.
So as long as it's classified under seminar
Yeah.
or thing instead of a meal.
And I could split it. Well, how much was it? 75?
75.
I could take 25 of it from housing and meals. And then the other 50 covers,
Yeah, let me like fake register so I can see. Oh, they're sending it through Cloudflare. Oh my.
I motion to approve.
Two?
Two.
We have a motion on the floor to approve 2 for this event.
Second.
We have first and second. Roll call. Mr. Warner,
Yes.
Mr. Rupp.
Yeah.
Mr. Miles,
Yep.
Ms. Fisher.
Yeah.
Mrs. Patel,
Mm-mm.
Ms. Kukowski.
Yes.
Okay.
was you a yes or a no?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now the other thing for miscellaneous business is the maintenance schedule. They're looking at you because you're the one asking me.
I would like to, I think it's already in committee, but just officially move setting up maintenance schedules for the buildings and the vehicles to one of the committees.
Moved.
Which
You
committee?
want to specify?
And equipment.
He's supposed to choose.
It would be it's going to be,
I would,
buildings should go to Public Works because they're lands and buildings. And the vehicles, we're gonna go to administrative process. Could be the same people, but whatever, but that's where it's gonna be.
Vehicles, are we gonna include lawnmowers, the new leaf vac and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and vehicles?
Equipment.
Okay.
We'll put vehicles and equipment to administrative process, Public Works. We need a motion to move those. Did someone make a motion?
I motion, or she motioned also.
First and a second, all in favor, say aye. All opposed? Okay,
There is one other item
yes,
that I think we need to get pushed to a committee or decide what we're gonna do. Received an email at 10 o'clock this morning. It was from Jamie Schroeder concerning possibility of purchase of a new EMS unit. And what they stated is, they said they had a good meeting with Penn Care to spec out quote ambulances. They're quickly becoming one of the best companies in our area. Our staff agrees the type 1 F550 4x4 gas model quoted at around $264,000 is an excellent choice. This would be a demo model that will be available to Penn Care July of 2026 and then purchased by us. It is not a new build customized by us. It is the quickest way to keep our fleet stable and serve our needs. Other companies have contracted with other companies that have price tags of $320K or more. They did bring, somebody referenced, Bradner has a unit of this type, Northwest 190 has a unit, Wyandotte County, and several of Mercy Health Life Flight units are. But the real crux of this thing is that they said that to secure this truck, we need purchase agreement signed ASAP. And when I talked to Kathy today, I told her, what do you mean ASAP? She said, well, tonight. And I said, that's not gonna happen. I said, number one, we do not.
The bid.
Because that's what I was gonna say.
I don't know if, I mean,
I want to find out if we have to bid it out. And I said, the other thing is how you're gonna finance this thing. Because I said, you're gonna tear a big hole. I mean, a huge hole in your appropriations by doing it that way. But anyway, I just want to make everybody aware and whether or not council would approve to move this to the safety committee to
I think
get to work on
I
it.
think this is a very appropriate place to put it as a safety committee. So. Because I know there was rumbling in the safety committee about it beginning of the year, but we got
Oh, yeah.
off track
It
with,
was actually before that. It was actually mid last year that.
got off track with the contracts and everything else, so. So,
It came out perfect because I think last meeting we said something, or they said something on topic too.
yeah, they talking about refurb one though.
Yeah.
Well,
Question.
that we also, well, I already got feedback from Paul on it, so, yeah, a competitive bid is required unless we purchase through the state purchasing program.
Do we have to get, does it have to be competitive seeing as how we're not using, it's private money.
No,
It's their money. It's EMS's money, right?
private money. It's
Public
village.
money,
It's public.
village money, yeah.
Because they're a village ambulance. Okay. It's private. Okay, that's fine. That was the only concern that I was worried about if there was a catch on that.
How many more quotes will we need?
Well, we have to bid.
You'll have to, bid it out,
Yeah, bid.
which means we'll have to set the specifications and
There would have to be a spec out. That's what we do for every fire truck. The difference is the ones we've done in the past were used models.
Correct. Correct.
So, and they exceed your.
And I would still like to research the used models, like I said before, because when I was online looking here a few months ago, there was a number of used units with very few miles on, which came well under that dollar amount.
That, I have to look into that state purchasing program. I don't know too much about it, but
Right.
we can look into that too. I know they list out contractors that you can go through, so I can get a list or
We need to
something.
figure out financing options too.
Yeah.
Whether it's a lease to buy, like we did with the truck, if it was a straight out loan, things of that nature too. So I think we need to move it to committee to public for, safety. We have a motion?
Yes. Motion.
We have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
I did get while I was opening that email from Paul, I got the Parks and Rec report as well, if you want me to read it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Committee summary, discuss purchasing pickleball set and basketball for the ribbon cutting. Voted to approve up to $150 for Dunham's. Howard requested dash plaques for the cars totaling 55. And they voted to approve that purchase at Walmart. Discuss porta potty fencing for parks. We will need to contact Ace about having the one moved at Merrill Park closer to the back fence and facing the ditch. Voted to allow the Sports Initiative Board use of the PA system. And we'll use DJ to announce during community fun days. Check with Harold on cleaning up broke concrete in Alumni Park by Courts. I think he took care of that before the ribbon cutting. Howard will provide quote for moving trees next meeting. Doug will have action item for council next meeting for Edison pole meter discussion, and Ron will provide quote for installing a water tap at Schoolhouse Park. Those are action items.
So it's nothing to be voted on yet. So there's no estimates yet. So, all right.
And when those come in, they go to committee, right?
They will probably
They will have to recommend once they review them in theirs, they'll recommend to council.
to council for whatever approval.
Well, trees and things.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're thinking of it should go to Public Works.
Yeah.
Okay. That can be done. Okay, visitors. Greg,
Go with him first. Because I'm going to talk about some of what he wants to talk about, so.
okay, and you are?
Okay.
Yeah, you. He pointed at you.
Okay, I live next door to Greg on Avon Lane.
Okay.
Just talking about Ash Street.
We're talking about vacating Ash Street extension, which would encompass south of Ash Street, which is your two adjoining properties, to the ditch. South of the ditch to Russ Street. And then obviously north of Avon Lane, which it goes really nothing. There's nothing there. There currently is infrastructure in those two sections, the south and the north of the ditch, which would be your guys' section, and then the other one be. There was conversation about vacating that, to put the responsibilities, I guess, would ultimately be back to the homeowners or property owners. But there is, infrastructure there, to catch basins there, that we would, if this would move forward, there would have to be a easement on file for that particular purpose. What does that mean? That means that if the landowners agree to the vacating of the property, you guys would assume that middle divide of real estate and would be probably part of your property tax. Right now, it's,
Kind of like what we do now, just, I mean, like we.
you currently mow it, right? The guy to the south of you, Randy Tolles, he currently mows his. The difference between your guys' situation is it's still considered a street and you would be considered a third tier plowing. In other words, we would plow up to the dead end of the driveway to access that, your guys' access to the driveways. If we vacate, it would be all on you guys. And according to our legal, it would be all involved or none. So if, I think there's all of Ash Street, I think there's possibly 3 property owners, evidently you two, on the north of the ditch. I think there's 1 at the south of the ditch. So, cause they own both halves, I believe. And then obviously to the north of you guys, I think there is actually technically 3 more there. So there'll be like 6 people. Now, unfortunately, those are blocked out and those individually could be probably vacated individually because it's not considered a through portion of it. So still in the talking phase. So if this is the conversation we need to have, then we'd more gladly to have it. So. We have vacated properties before, alleyways and stuff like that. One, because the most recent one was after the customer, at this point, the homeowner, he basically said, I'd like to vacate the service alley that was never really a service alley, but it was back in 1930s, you know, and he had already had an addition prior to him having it already impeding that thing. So the 2 landowners in the village agreed to vacate it. He assumed that portion of the property tax, obviously, because his house was halfway on that portion of it anyways, as far as the right of way. So basically it boils down to right of way is we give up our right of way to it and you guys would assume responsibility to it. Obviously with this having utilities or I do believe there's catch basins, some sewer line things, there would be need to be a formal written easement on the county auditor's site for that purpose only.
So would we be responsible for any of that stuff?
You would not be responsible for none of the utility portion of it. You'd be displaced in accessing your property. If something were to arise there, you would be required not to build anything on that such area. Obviously with their setbacks and everything, it's like 20 or 30 feet from the ditch. So some people, like your shed currently is like right on the ditch line. I know because my son used to live there. So I mean, that's one of those things where if we needed access to it via the county or the village, we would ask you to move it to be on your own dime. That portion of it. But when it comes to the utilities, you know, what we have currently under the infrastructure, you'd just be out possibly the real estate for the fix and then it'd be put back into place like it was before. Mr. Stevens?
3 things. I'll get to the Ash Street thing last. Thing number 1, I was here almost 2 years ago talking about sidewalks.
Mhm.
Saying, hey, if you're gonna repair everyone else's sidewalk, it's time to relieve us of the burden of it. All you gotta do is repeal resolutions, and I heard, yep, we're working on it. We're gonna get it. We're working on it. 2 years later, nothing. Time to separate the thumbs and do something if you're going to.
What do you
Or if you're
want?
not, just tell us we're not gonna do.
What do you want to do? You want to repair right away sidewalks?
No, I want to be free of them. I want to be free of the obligation.
Oh, free of the obligation
Yep.
of doing anything with right.
All you do is you repeal the resolution and everybody is free. If you're repairing other people's sidewalk, if mine breaks, you should repair mine. I don't think anyway, it's a discussion 2 years ago. I was told, yep, we're on it. We're going to get it done. Not a thing done. 2 years. Let's go. Thing number 2, Rick, I called you April 9th.
Okay.
Do you recall that conversation?
We talked, yes. We talked.
And why did I wake up to the sound of roosters again this morning?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, and this will be perfectly on record, that our zoning guy specifically went to that house, did catch that particular rooster and was stated to get rid of it, and they did. They must have gotten something else. Now, I did handle it the day that it happened with our zoning guy, and I can't help the fact that people still have ducks and roosters. We can't physically go on their property. For
You try a citation, that will work.
we've
You start
done that.
charging people, they will get rid of them on their own.
We actually, with this particular individual, we sent them a letter and the proceedings were going to move forward. And we actually sent a letter to another homeowner that I'm familiar with, and they've met the deadline and they've actually developed more. So it's going to be a continuing process. I hate to say it, but
It's time to start citing people because 3 months, I can show you, I can show you
Sheriff,
videos.
that'd be perfect because we physically can't go on their property.
I understand that.
So, I mean,
I know the laws.
Yeah, so we've done our portion of it. If you have video proof of it, then the video proof got sent to me on a particular incident and I handled it right away. And obviously I handled it
I'll
probably.
keep sending them to you, but it's pretty frustrating for.
I'm not,
And like I said,
this is the rule.
I heard it today.
Sure, this is the rule.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they're in violation of the rule, then we have to do it. And unfortunately, we have to get the sheriff's department involved.
I understand how the
And we
process
do
works.
that, but it's how far they want to push it and they have to follow our thing.
I think you guys need to push it a little harder. If you can convince people to change.
We have actually, right, wrong, or indifferent, or fighting sometimes lost causes just to prove a point. So, I mean, it is costing the village money on certain things and.
Okay, now let's get on to Ash Street. I say you cannot vacate that because you will be landlocking property lots. For example, Jay's house next to me, his is all one lot.
Mhm.
Front yard, backyard is all an Avon Lane address. My house is not. My house, the front side where the house is Avon Lane. The backyard is Ash Street. You cannot vacate it, you create landlocked lots. I know the guy across the street from me, Dave Forster, I think his name is, doesn't talk very much, the guy that lives in Pateki's old house there. He has the same situation. I know his backyard is not Avon Lane. His backyard is Ash Street. Because that came before you guys, because you called me and said.
Well, the Kendalls own that back.
Yeah, because we were
Kendall's
thinking
own
about,
behind Tyler McKinney's. That's the other guy's house. Kendall's don't own the lot right behind Dave's house. Dave has 2 lots there.
Okay.
But yeah, behind the other guy, the guy that moved into Buskey's house.
Mhm.
Yes, I realize there's another lot there, but you would be landlocking that lot as well.
Mhm.
This is why that cannot be done. This is why we fought it before and we will fight it again.
I'm not
We
necessarily. You have to fight
are
any of
not
it.
interested in that at all. We require nothing from the village other than if we get more than say 4 inches of snow, could you plow it for us? That'd be great. If you don't, we're fine. I don't think you've ever heard us bitch about anything.
This is a new conversation to vacate and it happened the last couple meetings.
Well, time to get rid of it because I know we're good with what's going on, the way it is. And I definitely do not want our back lot landlocked.
I agree with that. I'm not 100% certain we can do that. I assumed it was all one lot. I didn't look at the deeds or anything, so.
No, ours is 2 lots. It's kind of strange. Jay's isn't, and the house next to us, Steve and Angie's, their house is all, but for some reason, our house is 2 lots.
and
One
when,
side is Avon, the back side is Ash Street.
and I know like when we were thinking about buying that property from Kendall's, even like beside the store, behind this, so there's that property on Avon Lane that's behind the store.
Mhm.
There's properties behind those that are all Ash Street. So there would be no way for them to even get back there in there.
I said, this is all in talking.
Process for you.
And for some odd reason, I'm glad that you brought that up because then I was just like, no, that makes sense.
I mean, that's a whole new conversation. I mean, obviously, when we brought this a little bit ago when it was all or nothing, especially to particular
Mhm.
sides of the road. So, I mean, it definitely.
And the other thing, I want nothing to do with that gas line that comes right through the middle of that. I know you say you're not responsible for it, but I had a gas line break in my front yard. I had to pay for it. You've got 3 manholes back there, not one. You have
Yeah, I can't remember how many. I know there was some type
there's
of
3 of them
coverings
back
back
there.
there.
Yeah.
And I know there's some on the other
And
side.
I know he doesn't want anything to do with it because we're always back there trying to kill the poison ivy and beat the weeds just so we can mow
Mhm.
and keep those things open. I want nothing to do with it. Do not want to landlock our second lot. Not that we'll ever build back there, but you'd like to have that option.
Sure.
And if you vacate that, that option is gone.
Okay, fair enough. Like I said, this is all in conversation. There's nothing in writing. We actually just got the clarification from legal what he needed, so it may not go nowhere and it may, but it could, it's all got to go to you guys anyway, so. Because we can't vacate something that's not technically, pass on the responsibility to you guys.
As long as Shell and I are alive, you're not going to get agreement on that.
That's
And
fine.
I know Jay's, I probably shouldn't speak, but yeah, there's concern all around about
That's fine. Fair enough. Is that it?
that.
Okay. Josh. Anything for Josh? Okay, Jigger.
All clear here, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Marion? If there's nothing more, just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion before second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you.